evening, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Business Power Hour with Darren, Dimples, and the Music Man. Me. Hey, Dimps.
Hey, Mr. Music Man. How you doing this evening?
What's going on?
How are you?
Well, good. What's up? Two ladies. This is true story. These two ladies at a network meeting came over to me, and he said, your show was really good, but we missed Dimples. Good evening, everybody. I just got the finger from Jim. It's all part of the story.
Right.
Hey everybody, it's Darren from the Business Power Hour. I'm not going to be in the studio tonight. I'm traveling.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Business Power Hour with Darren and the Music Man, except Darren's not here.
I'm here.
No,
I'm
you're
right
not
here.
Does anybody see that? Darren is not here. Darren is away.
I am right here, right
Quiet
next
for
to
a
you.
second. You're not here. What? I don't know if you got lucky.
Not the really interesting question.
That's a fantastic question, Norman.
Wow. See, I got a fantastic. You just got good. I got fantastic.
Show's about him, so let's focus on that. Were you drinking before the show?
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
There we go. We got it.
It's good.
No, it's...
Now we got a flaw.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Smother it.
So, I think you got some music thing.
It's making noise.
It's making music.
Is it?
Yeah. That's so sweet. That's so sweet of you, Darren.
By the way, this is a Yankee station.
It's a
Thank
Yankee
you.
station. John,
Thank you.
it's a Yankee station.
All right.
Unfortunately...
We got bugs in here. What's going on?
I don't know.
Do you spray? Get an
It's
exterminator?
that time of year where you're getting bugs and stuff. As long as we don't have bees, I'm good.
Yeah, all right. That's...
But
We have a lot of undulations out in the field. Undulations.
Is that a wine?
it's, no,
What the hell is undulation?
Fred, don't use big words. Hey, right? So this...
Help.
I gotta give him a cough button, Jim. What do you think?
Cough button
Because-
would be a good idea. Consider that a good question that he asked?
Great question.
There's
There
a
you go.
good
I
question.
got
Pythons and brains.
You're double D?
I'm double D. Show's about him, so let's focus on that.
Hey, give me some loving.
How are you, Music Man?
Hello, Darren. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm
this week.
absolutely convinced. I'm absolutely convinced that
telling
you
you.
got some kind of brain damage when you had that thing last year.
I'm telling you that, and he called.
Not classy, but classy.
Seeing interviews by Darren and the Music Man. Ladies and gentlemen, Darren Siafe and Norman Wasserman.
Let's do this. Yeah. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Business Power Hour with Darren, better known as Double D.
Where are you, Norm? You got to turn your camera on there, buddy.
And here we are.
Good
Another
evening,
Wednesday,
sir.
Hump Day, Hump Wednesday.
Hump Wednesday?
Yep.
It's Hump Day, yeah. Yeah, I guess you could say that. It's definitely Hump
Spaghetti Day, too.
Prince Spaghetti Day. I'm loving
Does
this.
everybody remember that back in the day? With the commercial on TV about Prince Spaghetti? Anthony!
Anthony. So how are you, my friend? How was your week?
Very, very busy, very hectic, very nice.
Your mic is a little low.
I don't know if I can make it any louder. It's as loud as it gets.
Okay, maybe it's just me on my side.
All right.
But-
Anyway, Saturday night we had the Doobie Brothers played by the Doobie Others. And then Sunday at 7 p.m. we had Ted Vigil, who does John Denver. And if anyone would like to see them, they're posted up on virtualtributeconcerts.com. And you can click on them and you can watch them. And I think you'll enjoy it. And that's on us, so you can have a good time. What's up with you, Darren? What'd you do?
Well, you had two concerts, right?
Yeah, I said we had John Denver.
And you had the Doobies, right? Okay, cool. Very cool. Sunday, every year, we had the American Cancer Society on last year. We had Katie on, which they're going to be coming up again, right, Norm? Soon?
Yes.
All right, they're going to be on again. But
26. Yeah, November.
the end of November?
Yeah, the last week in November.
Okay, so the last week in November, we're going to have our friends from the American Cancer Society on. But as you know, every year, this is Cancer Awareness Month, and breast cancer is a big thing the American Cancer Society does. So, every year, with the Civil Air Patrol, we go out and help them because they do a huge walk down at Jones Beach. But because of COVID, they weren't able to do the walk this year. They actually did a drive-through. So I spent my Sunday down at Jones Beach in Field 5, working with everybody that was coming through. So, we got a good turnout. It was actually a lot of fun. I always like working in those events, and I have to thank you, my friend, for calling in on Monday on my radio show. So you did a
No,
great
I
job.
should be thanking you. I just called in to listen. And when you gave out your phone number, I said, let's go have some fun. So I
we
called
did
in,
have fun.
and it turned into a skit. Who was expecting?
It did turn into a skit. As a matter of fact, my producer of the show said that was pretty good. So,
Was it's pretty good. That's why
yeah,
we're
that's why we do what we
business
do.
power
right?
hour.
Exactly.
Hey,
So, talking about the business power hour, we got a pretty cool guest this week. As for everybody who knows, Norm pretty much does all the booking on the show, and he handles bringing in our guests. And this particular guest is, as I have stated before, is a LATIP member. I'm a LATIP member, and he's also a LATIP member.
who knew?
Who knew? And matter of fact, he's the president of Michelle's LATIP group chapter. So, when he came on tonight, I was like, oh, I know him. And we started talking. I was like, I know who you are. All right. So, we're going to
Crazy.
bring on Matt Caselli from Eagle Group
Eagle
Planning. We're
Insurance.
not even going to mess around tonight. Let's just get right to
No,
it.
no. Then it wouldn't be a regular show. Come on, Matt.
Right.
Give it up. Come on in there, buddy.
Come on in, Matt. How are you?
There you go.
Oh, well, guys, how are you?
Good
Good
transition.
evening. Welcome.
Nice transition. You happy with that? Good.
So Matt, tell us about Eagle Group Planning, what you guys are all about, and then tell us how you got into it, because you got a really interesting story
Big
and
time.
how you got into this particular business.
Well, what we're all about first. We are located in Melville. The office is in Melville. That's where my staff is located. We are working virtually in and out days. But what we do is we meet business owners, whether there's 2 employees or 2,000 employees. We focus on a lot of small businesses, and we handle employee benefits with a strong focus on health insurance. Business owners are hurting right now financially due to COVID, so looking for ways to cut their costs. And the health insurance is a big part of what we actually do. Getting into the business, very interesting story though. I went to New York Tech. I graduated from New York Tech in '88 with an architecture degree. I had my own architecture business, drafting up residential work. At that same time, I worked for Sbarro's. I drew up the Italian restaurants across the country.
Well, let's talk about that, right? So you
Yeah.
started out as an architect, right? And you went
Or
to work.
Sparrow.
So
For
right
Sbarro.
out of college, you went to work for Sbarro's?
Shortly after my first job, I lasted about a day because when I was away on my honeymoon, I came back from the honeymoon, starting my new job, and the architectural firm said, sorry, we lost a couple of big jobs while you're away and we can't put you on board. So I was out of work immediately after one day, newly married. But then I got the job soon after that with Sbarro. So
I'm
yeah,
sure she loved you.
32 years later, still going
There you
strong.
go. She's happy about it now.
Right.
Yep. So,
Well,
So
that's
it's about how long were you with Sparrow?
oh geez, how many years was that? Now you're taxing my memory, Norm. I don't know, was it 5 years, give or take? And so
No,
we did
No, just say any number. No one knows the difference.
nobody know.
3 years.
Any number.
Who's going to call you a liar?
Listen,
anyhow.
you were Sbarro's for a number of years, and for those of those listeners out there, Sbarro's was, I guess you could say, an Italian restaurant that really was mostly. I remember them more being in malls than anything, right?
Yes.
Like food courts and
Many malls.
malls and stuff, and
Yeah.
airports and stuff like that, right?
Sure.
So
Yeah.
you were part of the architectural team that put together the designs.
Exactly.
Right, because I remember Sbarro's was you got the tray and you went down the line and you
Yeah,
got your
yeah.
slice of pizza or whatever you were going to
Yeah.
get, and then you paid, right?
It was a buffet.
So you were doing that. So let me ask you, why were you thinking I need to change my career? Was it that you just didn't like what you were doing, or?
Oh no, I enjoyed it, but at that point, now I'm married. At that point, we had our first child, and it came down to money. It's like time to make some extra money. I need to make more money.
Right.
So I had a friend that worked in the insurance world who now lives in Scottsdale, Arizona, still in the insurance business. And he said to me, get into the insurance business. You know, you got the gift of gab. You could sell anything to anybody. Get into it. I'm like, I'm not a salesperson. I'm not that pushy, but I'll give it a shot. So he gave me a crash course on how to be aggressive and some sales techniques. And I went for my first interview and I got the job 5 days later. I was,
That's a tough call, though. You know, you're a newly married guy. You have a new child, and that's a commission business. That's not salary.
Yeah, that's a tough one to
tough.
switch to.
Yeah. Well, in the beginning, it was tough for sure. But we made, I made the move. I got my experience on that side, on the corporate side of the fence. I worked for different insurance companies, from Choice Care, which became Vitra, a company called Oxford, which is still around today.
Right.
And I moved around and I moved up through the ranks, learned the insurance world, the corporate side.
Mhm.
Then I made the bold move back in '01, just about 20 years ago now, 19 years ago, to open up my own agency.
So how long did it take you to really establish yourself as an insurance guy? Because, you know, as we know, it's an insurance, it's an all commission business. You really have to build your own book of customers,
Yeah.
right? It's not
Yeah.
like you walk in and they hand you the customers. They'll hand you leads that you can go chase, right?
Right. Yeah. Well,
But
that's what the funny thing was, when I first got into the insurance world on the corporate side, I had my base salary. That was great.
Mhm.
The real bold move came when I left the corporate side and had no base salary and nothing coming in at all.
Right.
So
Um,
why did you leave the corporate side and create your own firm?
Honestly, I knew so many insurance brokers out there that honestly were making a really good living and didn't really know what they were talking about and weren't concerned about the business owners. They were concerned about the bigger commission hits.
They're still out there.
And they're still out there, some of them.
Yeah.
So I said, wait, if they're making that kind of money, paying that little attention to their clients, now what I know and relationships I have, I could probably make a good run at this. And that's when I said, let's just get going. So at that point, of course, 3 weeks later, 9/11 comes, and it was a tough time to start a business. But I was knocking on the doors. I was working 3 jobs, driving limousines, working FedEx, whatever it
Good for
took,
you.
until the commissions built. And that took a good year and a half or so. And I was behind on mortgage payments and God knows what, until the commission started to build. And just
Right.
fast forward.
Okay. So Eagle, your company, how did you come up with the name?
Eagle Group Planning. It's funny. I kicked it around for a while because I wanted something that was simple to spell, for starters. I mean,
Right.
Group Planning. My stationery, my look is all very patriotic with parchment paper and gold foil and stuff like that. But I wanted something that was, I guess, patriotic and simple to spell. That's simple. Eagle Group Planning.
Is that because of
Or
9?
ABC Financial.
Well, is that because of not you starting the company right around 9/11?
And that pushed it to another level. It did. I had my company created when I left 3 weeks before 9/11,
Right.
but that really worked a lot into the picture, whether it was graphics, whether it was, websites or stationery or anything I had was geared towards the patriotism of the country over the year or two. Yeah, in the beginning.
Tell everybody what type of insurance you do.
I do group insurance. Okay. Group meaning businesses, whether there's 2 employees or, like I said, many employees, must be a business. I do employee benefits, health insurance, dental, vision, disability, life insurance, any employee benefit that's offered to the employees. My focus has always been health insurance. That is my specialty. That's where I have all my experience in. So that is the primary focus for my 360 clients that I have.
So this is always a sore spot for my clients, right? Health insurance, especially the ones that have, 1, 2, 3 employees, less than 5 or less employees, where a lot of times they're like, I want to get health insurance for my employees, but there's only I have 3 employees and only one of them wants it. But I really want to be able to get it for that one person, but I can't find any good plans to do
Right.
that. Do you see that these small businesses are really at a disadvantage because they have so few employees?
They are. The choices are very limited for a small business. In New York State, by the way, small business define anything from 2 employees to 100 employees. So
Mhm.
anything especially in the smaller end, the products are limited. The carriers are limited. There's 6 insurance companies to pick from, various range of products and prices. but the least expensive product that exists for a single person per month is $500.
Yeah. You know, people don't get, and I'm going to be very blunt about this and honest about this. I had a health insurance plan before Obamacare. I was paying for something a month, and I basically, my deductibles were very low. It covered
Yeah.
pretty much everything.
Yeah.
And almost immediately after Obamacare happened, within 3 years, it almost tripled, or actually did triple in cost. And I don't care what anybody says, it's great that everybody has insurance or has the ability to get insurance now. But, I said this when people were trying to pass Obamacare, somebody's got to pay for this. And guess what? I had to pay for it, because
doubt.
is it fair to me that my insurance went up 3 times the amount if I wanted to keep the same coverage,
Right.
tripled within a very short period of time? I can understand small increments, right?
Yeah.
Every
Well,
year to
everything
go
goes
up
up
a little
every
bit.
year, so you would get
But
that.
to triple is like absurd.
12%, 15%,
Yep.
18% in those early years. Now things are so great that the health insurance increases are now 4%, 8%, 10%. Yay, that's exciting.
Yeah, but the prices are, compared to they were 8 years ago are huge.
So it's buying a car.
They're huge.
Like you said, Darren, when I first started, it was $180 a month for a super duper $5 plan, 100% hospital. That same plan now, which would be equivalent to what they call a platinum,
Yep.
it's not 180 something. It's now about 1,200.
Right,
That's a
exactly.
lot more
And that's what I'm
platinum.
talking about.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm talking
So
about.
you tell me how a 3-person business owner who's trying to stay afloat, especially in these times, can afford to offer a plan to 3 of his employees if the average price is, let's say, 700 or 800, and if they're just singles.
So
Yeah.
how do you help them out?
There are options out there, and people don't realize this. Like, there are plans at 800, 900, or 1,000, and there are plans 500, 600, 700 for a single we're talking about. And the family rate will range from about 1,500, 1,600 per month to approximately 3,800 per month.
Well, for simplicity,
Yeah.
for simplicity, let's just talk about single rates right now.
Single rates.
All right.
So single rates, when they're walking into a business owner and they're paying currently 800, he's like, Matt, I can't afford this. There are other options, and people don't realize you can leave a plan whenever you want to leave a plan. So if they have benefits in place and the renewal isn't for 10 more months, you don't have to wait 10 more months to change your plan. People think they have to stick it out for their contract year. You don't. You can leave whenever you want to leave. So I tell people, let's take it from 800 right now. Let's bring it down to 600. Tweak your benefits, change carriers possibly, cut your cost a bit, get back on your feet. Things start getting better. We can bring it back up to a richer plan. So you can bounce back and forth. One of the Obamacare rules, pre-existing conditions are covered without any waiting periods. So
Right.
if you have a condition, you move to a new carrier, the new carrier must pay for your condition.
So if I'm doing extremely well and I want the best coverage I can, I don't want to have to worry about, because I mean, some of these plans, the deductibles are $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a year.
Right.
And like me, I go to the doctor once a year for a checkup, and by the time I hit that deductible, for the most part, I'm not going to hit it. It's more, catastrophic, health
Right.
insurance for me
Right.
with that plan. But I'm the type where, okay, I don't want to have to worry about that stuff. I don't want to have to worry about knowing that, I got to run to the doctor or I broke my arm and it's going to cost me $900, to go to the doctor and get it fixed.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to worry about laying out that cash. I want to know that if I pay insurance just like my car, I pay my insurance and I get into a wreck and I bring it to my friend Joe over at Perfect Bodies to fix
What
it.
a commercial. You
What a
did it
commercial,
again. You
right?
gave
I got
another
Joe, you have
commercial.
to thank him, Joe.
I got Joe in there. It's I don't have to worry about, okay, I got a ton of money I got to lay out of my pocket.
Right.
So
Right.
how do you, let me ask, I'm asking you for specific reasons we can talk about later.
Sure.
Say you got a company that, right, they got, one person or 2 people on the payroll and only one person needs insurance. Is that enough for that company to get insurance?
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
You need to have 2 people eligible for benefits to
All right.
qualify for a group insurance plan. It could be an owner and one W-2 employee that is not a spouse.
Okay.
Okay. It could be a partnership with two partners. Darren, if you and I own an accounting firm, we're both equal partners, or not even equal partners, just partners.
Right.
No W-2 employee, that's fine. We could actually get a group insurance plan. Now you
Gotcha.
qualify for group insurance. But of the two people, only one wants the insurance. Okay.
Right.
Most carriers will still take you, depending on that other employee, why they're waiving. Do you have coverage through a spouse, possibly the other
Right.
partner, whatever it may be? So most times, two employees eligible, one employee on insurance, I can pretty much offer you any product that exists.
Okay. So how do you, let's talk about from the group insurance or these groups that you see, right? Because I see this associations all the time. Well, join our association, you can get health insurance and all this stuff. It doesn't matter how many employees you got. If you're, and sole proprietors seem to be the biggest
Yeah.
issue out there, right? You got one employee or it's just you by yourself, and it's, how do I get good health insurance? I mean, do we have to go on the, go on the New York State website and get a health insurance that way? Or is there a way to get company health insurance? So when I do hire somebody, or if I have a part-time employee, what if I have a part-time employee that doesn't want health insurance?
If you're an owner, a sole owner, no partners, you have one part-time employee or a full-time employee that doesn't want health insurance, and you, the owner, are the only person that wants the insurance, nobody wants you. Nobody's going to take you. There is not one insurance company out there.
Why?
It's a rule that came out approximately
Okay, so
a year ago. Makes no sense.
let's flip it.
Yeah.
All right. I have one employee.
Uh-huh.
They want the insurance, but I don't.
No problem.
They'll take
Anything you want.
Now, let me ask you a question that's very important and very today.
Huh?
There is a good possibility that Obamacare may not be here within the next month or two. What does everybody do? Where do they go? What do they do? What's up?
You know, when Obamacare was first, obviously pre-existing conditions were waived. Children are covered on your family plan up to 26 as a standard. Many mandates were put in place. Many limitations were eliminated for Obamacare. Healthcare subsidies were put in place, government subsidies to buy something on the Obamacare exchange. If all that leaves, and if they say pre-existing conditions are not waived and not covered immediately, if some of the mandates are eliminated, say, listen to Oxford and Blue Cross and Aetna, says you don't have to do it this way. You don't have to include this. You don't have to include unlimited physical therapy. Some of the Obama situation. What's going to happen to some of those things? Actually, it's going to help rating. It is going to help rating. Because think about it now. Someone that has cancer, that has no insurance, and they just diagnosed with cancer. Now they go jump on a health insurance plan, and the insurance plan has to pay for their chemo treatments.
Right.
Are they going to be able to get insurance, being that they have a pre-existing condition?
Well,
Yeah.
how it was prior to Obamacare, if they have coverage, they can change carriers and go to a new company, no problem. But if they have no coverage and they have a condition and they go to a new company, there was a 12-month waiting period to be covered for that condition.
So if I have cancer, God forbid, and I go to a new company, Obamacare disappears, and I go to a new company, I'm going to be able to get coverage.
If you currently have coverage, yes.
Right.
What if you don't currently have coverage?
It's screwed.
If Obamacare leaves and it goes back to the way it was, if you have no coverage and you're gambling and you're 32 years old and you're healthy, I don't need coverage. I'm not paying for insurance. I never go to a doctor, and you're gambling.
Right. Yeah.
And you get stricken with some kind of illness, and then you go try to get insurance. The insurance company does not have to pay for that condition. That's the way it was in the past, just to be clear. Not the way it is now.
Gotcha. I gotcha. Yeah, no, I understand that.
Yep.
I get that. I get that totally. All right. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a short break. It's almost halfway through already, Matt.
Wow.
Look at that,
Crazy.
right?
I didn't even get to the good stuff yet.
We told
Oh,
you.
you're going to
I
tell
know.
the good stuff. We
So
got you all set.
When we come back, we're going to continue with Matt. He's going to give us he's going to give us the good stuff. And
The good insurance versus the poor insurance.
the good insurance versus the poor insurance. We're going to be right back right after these messages from our friend Norman.
Hey everybody, it's Norman from Friend Entertainment USA and Virtual Tribute Concerts. I got some breaking news. If I sound a little bit excited, it's because I am. And you can see I'm wearing one of my nice glitter jackets for on stage. And the reason why I'm wearing this jacket is because The Cure, the Friend Entertainment fundraising cure, it's official, it's live, it's well. We lived through it, we got it going. Concerts all over the country, concerts all over the world. Virtual concerts from Friend Entertainment USA and Virtual Tribute Concerts. We are there. Our next show is coming up. Neil Diamond going to be in a couple of weeks. Tune in, Friend Entertainment USA, 631-698-9696. If you are a charity, if you are a not-for-profit organization, you haven't done fundraising in 6-7 months, I got you. We got this done. I can do it for you. How do I know? We found a solution. I just got finished doing 2 very successful shows. And our next one, as I mentioned to you, is Neil Diamond in just a couple of weeks. So again, Friend Entertainment USA, 631-698-9696. I look forward to speaking to you. Have a good day.
Have you lost control of your business? This is business consultant Darren Sayafi. Listen to me every Monday at 3 p.m. as we discuss strategies and solutions where you can regain control. That's every Monday at 3 starting September 14th, right here on LI News Radio.
All right, and we are back. See, I told you it was going to
Do
be.
you see who's on the line?
Who's on the line?
Brittany.
Yeah, no, I said, yeah, Brittany. I've been talking to her back and forth. Brittany Anderson, our pink positive person. She's very upset
Hey,
you're not wearing her
Brittany.
shirt.
In Washington, the state of Washington.
Washington, yeah. She watches us from the state of Washington. She's out in the Seattle area.
Big supporter of us.
Big
We
supporter of
appreciate
ours.
you.
We love Brittany. She sent us some T-shirts which Norman won't wear, which isn't
I'd
true.
wear it if
because-
you give it to me.
I know.
Like the
Brittany,
baseball,
Brittany,
you
I
know.
still have his T-shirt. So, but pink
By
positive.
the way, happy birthday, Brittany.
Yes, happy 40th birthday, Brittany. Her birthday was last week, so we want to wish
Big
her a happy
congratulations
40th
to you.
birthday.
Thank you.
Big 4-0. All right, we're back with Matt Caselli from Eagle Group Planning, and we're talking about health insurance and the craziness and the insanity that you have to go through. So basically, and right now what I'm doing is through the what do you call that when you go on the New York State website?
The
marketplace.
marketplace exchange.
So I got my health insurance through the marketplace right now, right? And
You hear what he just said? He just said, I
Sorry
don't
to
think
hear
he was
that.
pleased
Yeah.
with that.
and because I don't have any W-2 employees.
Do you have a partner?
Well, we have separate businesses. We separated the businesses. So my virtual partner, for lack of better terms, she has her own separate company and she has to get her insurance through the marketplace also.
So in your company, you have no partners.
I have no partners in my company.
None he wants
Yeah.
to talk about.
What's that?
So none that he wants to talk about.
Right.
None on
Do you have,
paper.
do
If
you
that-
happen to
if
have
that
any
is-
children? Darren, you have any children?
I have fully grown children.
Well, I tell people this sometimes too. Listen, put one of your children on your payroll.
Oh, okay. So you can get away with that one, right?
Oh, yeah. Don't say get away with it. These are the rules. I don't break rules.
I don't-
Especially not on TV.
You bend, but this is what I tell my clients too. I bend, but I don't break.
Yeah. People call me all the time and say, hey, I'm married. I have children. I'm my business owner. I have no employees.
Right.
You're in the same category you're in. I said, take one of your kids, put one of your kids on the payroll, 20 hours a week, minimum wage. Congratulations, you're not qualified for group insurance.
Yeah.
And I know they get something that's on the Obamacare exchange, which has limited doctors, limited hospitals, upfront deductibles.
But wait a second. But you just said a little while ago that if I'm a business owner, I want to get group insurance, but my employee doesn't want it. Insurance company won't want me.
Right.
Okay, so if I put my kid on the payroll,
Now you're covering your
wants it.
family. If you're covering your family right now, let's say you were married.
I'm
with
not.
children,
But like I said, both of them are grown. They have their own insurance. You know,
yeah,
through their
beyond that,
workplaces.
then you are out of luck. Then you are. But people are coming in, my child's 12 years old, 16 years old,
Oh,
20
well,
years old.
Yeah.
Then you put them on the payroll and put them on your plan, and then you're good. But in your case, yeah, you're stuck.
I'm stuck where I am, right?
You are.
Now, I know, Matt, you got a lot of good stories in that little head of yours. How about telling all the listeners about some of these special cases that you've had.
Yeah, I mean, the rules are there to follow, but know them. A lot of brokers don't know them. And thanks for saying I have a small head, a little head. Nobody's ever said anything little about me.
We're on TV.
But yeah, I mean, there's a story that I tell quite often. It was an anesthesia group in Flushing, Queens, that was referred to me by one of my clients. She came to me 10 years ago. Her 8-year-old child needed a heart transplant, and he was on a transplant list. She wanted to go to a certain physician, certain surgeon to perform the procedure. There was certain rejection medication that was super expensive, and she didn't know what to do. She was in a health plan, her small office of 4 employees in Flushing. And I found a carrier for her. It was an expensive carrier, but I found a carrier for her that had an in-network surgeon that she wanted, that had her rejection medication on their drug formulary list, where she could just pay a co-payment instead of thousands per month. We put her in a platinum plan where the surgery cost her $500. Her son had the transplant. Every year for the last 10 years, including this past Christmas, they come out to my office. He's now 18 years old with cases of Asian pears and Asian apples that she brings from Flushing, where her office is. And everybody cries. Everybody cries in the office. So, there's things you could do to keep that.
Those are good apples too.
Great apples, size of softballs, amazing.
Yeah,
That's what you got. That's what you got out of that story.
Well, that's upsetting.
Apples.
I don't want to be sad. I'd rather eat an Asian apple.
But it's a great story.
It's
a heartwarming story.
She credits myself and my staff saving her son's life.
Well, you did.
So Matt, if somebody wants to get a hold of you and they want to find out more about how they can provide health insurance or any of the insurances that you provide to their clients or their employees or their companies, how can they get in touch with you?
You can start with an email if you like. Eagle, like the bird, eagle@finlib.com. So F as in Frank, I, N like Nancy, L like Larry, I, B like boy.com. Eagle
I posted it in the chat. Okay. So anybody who's got that information. Do you have a Facebook page?
I do actually. It hasn't been worked on, so I'm never going to give it to you, quite honestly.
Okay, all right.
You could go on Facebook and look at Eagle Group Planning. You'll find it there, but it hasn't been worked. But it's on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. My website's being redone once again, so now it should be done shortly. I'll give you my cell number for everybody. Why not? I'm going to give you my cell.
Go ahead.
516-680-6013. Call me, text me. My office number. My office again is in Melville, 115 Broad Hollow Road.
And go ahead.
631-385-4600. My extension is 20. 120.
So Matt's extension is 20.
120, sorry.
120.
We changed our phone systems. They threw ones in front of everything now. I'm not sure why.
There you go. All right. So all of that information is up in the chat too. So if you want to get more information, you want to find out what's going on for you and your company. Now, Matt, do you also do planning, for these guys where, here's what's coming up? Because a lot of times too, I see what my clients is, especially when they got, 10 people in the organization, they all want different things.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily want the same plan for everybody.
100%.
They want to be able to mix it up and give different prices and stuff like that. Is there a way, like if I had 10 employees, is there a way to have like a mixed bag, so to speak, that?
I have many ways to do that, actually. If you have 2 employees or 10 employees, you can have multiple products. For 10 employees, you can offer 63 different plans to 10.
How many?
Literally 63.
63 different plans.
Yeah, I have a car dealership in Nassau County with 35 employees, and that's exactly what we do there. We offer them 63 different plans on the menu. And each employee has different needs. Now let's tone it down. 10-person company, you want to offer 3 different products,
right?
A bronze, a silver, and a platinum. You can do that as well, of course. And it's important. I meet business owners and they don't realize that. Their brokers aren't telling them that. And you have 10 employees and everybody's on one plan, Oxford Gold, hypothetically.
Right.
But then you have someone there that's 30 years old that never goes to a doctor. And financially, he's not in the same situation as the owner of the company that might, and certainly not in the same medical condition. But yet everybody's got the same gold plan. It doesn't make any sense. So certainly mix it up. Offer a lower option plan to the healthier, lower wage people, middle, high option, you can certainly mix it up quite a bit, and a lot of companies don't realize that.
So this car dealership that how many plans did you offer them? You didn't offer them 63 different plans. How many did you limit it to?
I offer them six.
Sorry.
Oh, how's your health insurance, Norm? Right? You okay?
I'm over 65, so I'm covered.
He's covered.
Yeah, nothing like Medicare. Nothing like Medicare. So yeah, literally, there was a menu of options with different insurance companies and different metal levels: bronze, silver, gold, platinum. And we literally, the business owner contributes one set dollar amount. In this exact example, it was $350 per month. And he says, here's $350, guys. Pick whatever plan you want. If you want a silver Health First. If you want a platinum Oxford, if you want an emblem gold, if you want a bronze Oscar, take whatever you want. There's different price points. I'm giving you $350, and anything above $350, you're paying for out of your paychecks.
Right.
And everybody can get whatever they need. You know, it's what's important. Listen, you have benefits, you have price, then you have doctors and hospitals.
Well, if you're, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, when we first got into the corporate world, Matt, because you and I are basically the same age, because you told me what year you graduated college, it was the same year as me, right? So,
You look so different.
When we first got into the corporate world, that was like a standard thing that was offered. It was, when you didn't even say, do you offer health insurance? It was like part of the package.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It was like it was just assumed that your company was going to offer you health insurance.
Right.
And either you opted out or you got it, and some companies back then, if you didn't take the health insurance, they still paid you. They paid you extra,
Right.
because you weren't taking the health insurance because
That happens with my wife. My wife, we don't
Yeah.
need health insurance. So when she goes in, that's a negotiating tool for her.
So, I mean, I don't, from my perspective, and I work with small and medium-sized companies. Really, I think the largest I have is they have about 40 plus employees. So it's not huge. I mean, they're a decent sized company, but
a perfect referral for me, by the way.
Yeah,
Perfect
I
referral.
know. And that's why I say you and I will talk after the show, Matt. But you don't see that anymore where it's when people come in an interview right away, they go, do you offer health insurance?
Yeah.
You have to, it's like that question has to be asked now.
More important than income.
When did you see that switch?
Well, what happened was years ago, as you're referring, it was 100% paid. And as those rate increases started to creep up after Obamacare, when they started to creep up, the boss would say, I'm going to pay 80% of the premiums and have the employee pay 20%. And then it's graded, depending on the industry. Now, again, out of over 300 clients, I bet you I can count on two hands how many clients pay 100% of the premiums for their employees.
Is there a specific industry that is better than others?
Well, the not-for-profits, okay, typically lower waged, lower salaries, but the package is a little richer.
Right.
So some of my not-for-profits do pay a lion's share, if not all of the premiums. I have a couple of hedge funds that I insure in Manhattan. Everybody there's making, well over six figures, every employee there.
Right.
And they deserve it. They want what they want. And the bosses give them incredible coverage. But that's far and few between. The real story out there, especially in Long Island, my clients are all over, but I have a lot in Nassau and Suffolk, majority. 50% paid by the boss, various numbers, but
what's the average? What's the average that you're seeing that the boss is paying? Because this is a good point for business owners out there. They don't know. Yeah. I had this conversation with one of my clients not too long ago. They were like, I want to offer my guys health insurance, but how much of it should I pay? And
it depends on the business. Depends on the business and industry that they're in.
Because they're not required to pay, right?
Right.
There's for a group of 100 employees, okay? I'm sorry, less than 50. Sorry, less than 50. No, less than 100. There's no requirement, okay? You can offer health insurance to your employees and you don't have to pay any of it. You can say, guys, here, I'm giving you group rates. I'm the boss, I'm paying zero, but here it is. So there's no minimum requirement for a small group. But the average, like Norm said, it depends how competitive that industry is. If you're in an industry where it costs money to train your people and keep those people, but they might go down the block to your competitor, and it's a very competitive, you better offer them something rich. You better be giving them 75, 80% of the premiums, at least if they're single.
Right.
Many people will pay for majority of the single, and then if you want to have dependents on the plan, you'll pay the difference, the employee.
I have one client that they have 3 different rates, right? For single, 3 different plans, and they pay full for the lowest one,
Below option.
right? And then if you want, it's similar to what you were talking about. If you want to
Right.
upgrade, that's on you.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know?
But at least
And-
they're offering something for free to the
Right.
employees. Yeah.
Exactly.
You want it.
Exactly. You know, so here's the minimum and I'll offer that, but at the same time, you know. it goes
Shout
from-
out to Melinda Roth Epstein. Hello, Melinda. How are you?
Yes, I just saw Melinda pop up a couple of seconds ago.
Melinda and I do quite a bit of business together, Melinda. Yep. She's a property and casualty broker. We refer a lot of business back and forth.
I didn't know that
Exactly.
you knew her.
I know her well. We do a lot of business together. Yep.
She's at Prince.
Yeah, she's a Prince. She
Let's
refers
give
me, I
Prince a
refer her.
plug. Plug for Prince Insurance, Hicksville.
Prince Insurance Hicksville. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
John from Hazlitt's also on. Hey, John, how you doing, buddy?
Hey,
Yeah,
John, hope
yeah,
you're
I
feeling
did.
well.
I did have I did have a bad lawyer. No, my ex-wife worked for a school district, so our insurance didn't cost us anything. And then after I got divorced, obviously I had to go get my own. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that was.
You gotta
I know
find-
that
you gotta
feeling.
Find a new wife. Find a wife that's a teacher, or or works for a municipality.
Yeah,
or
I mean,
somebody.
each one of my kids cost me $15 each. That was it.
Beautiful.
Went to the
Yeah.
gynecologist for the first visit, paid the copay, and then not a dime after that.
Uh-huh.
You went to the gynecologist?
Oh yeah, I went to every one of those things. I was there for everything, man.
Oh, okay, I thought you went.
Oh, for me, no.
That's what it sounded like.
You know what? Why do you always? You gotta. Can we just keep it like back on track here?
All right, let's go back on track. I've been to with Matt to other networking groups, and Matt has had, I don't know if you want to talk about it or you remember anything, but you have a couple of really good stories, sales stories on how there was one that I remember at that meeting that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Right.
What was that?
And that was really, and I said, save it for the show.
Yeah. God, great memory I have, isn't it? Come on, help me out. Give me a tip. Was it about upgrading the plan? They went to yeah. I think that's what you're talking about. I had a
There you
couple of
go.
stories that day.
There you
But
go.
we talked about changing products mid-year. So there was a client of mine where the owner's daughter needed a very expensive procedure, but he was in a silver level product. And at a silver level plan, typically any surgical hospitalization would cost approximately $8,000 out of pocket. He's at a silver level plan. He knew the procedure was coming up. So all I did was I took him out of the silver, I put him in a platinum plan. In that platinum product, he had a $500 hospital copayment. Yes, he paid more premiums, of course, but he paid more premiums for 2 months. I left him in a platinum for 2 months. His daughter had the procedure. He paid $500 instead of $8,000. And after the procedure was done, we moved him back into a silver level product.
It's like kind of like a shell game at this point. To really effectively utilize health insurance, you're kind of like, okay, this is what I need. I'm going to move into this. I'm going to get it done, and I'm going to move back to where I was to be more affordable.
I always tell people, you want our fortune tellers, what's going to happen to us in the next 12 months?
Right.
What medical conditions are we going to have? We don't know. But certainly if I walk into a client and it's a small business, someone that is certainly pregnant, I know they're going in the hospital in the next 9 months. That's
But see,
obvious.
like I can't do that in the marketplace, though.
No. Like I said, you're stuck. No choice.
I get stuck in a plan for a year, right? It's like every year you got to go in. And you got
The marketplace, you sign up January 1st. If you sign up during the year, your plan renews January 1st. Individual policy through the marketplace are all January. You can't leave, you can't come and go, you can't do that. Small groups are different. Yeah. So
groups are different.
you know
So
what, listen, I tell people,
figure out
you don't need a super duper Cadillac plan every day of the week if you're young and healthy for the most part.
Yeah.
You need to have something to cover yourself and not lose your house or lose your business. And then if medically things change, that's when it's time to change. That's when it's time to go with something better.
Now, what other insurances do you offer, Matt? Oh, you just focus. Yeah, I know you focus on health insurance, right?
Yeah.
Are there
Yeah.
other insurance offerings that you do?
Yeah, a lot of clients will say, okay, what about dental insurance?
Mhm.
Okay, what about vision insurance? Typical employee benefit packages. Yes, I deal with all of that, whether it's MetLife or dental or Guardian or Solstice or Healthplex or Delta Dental. I deal with all the carriers on the dental side.
Question, what's the best dental insurance out there for the average person?
What does the best mean? You know,
Coverage,
Met-
coverage for least amount of,
I'll give you an example. I used to have dental insurance and I forgot the name of it off the top of my head. I was paying like $40 a month or $35 a month or whatever it was, right? And all of a sudden I had an abscess tooth and my face blew up and all this other stuff. And what I found out was it covered cleanings and basic cavities. And that was it. Right. So I had to come out of pocket $800. But then I was talking to the dentist and I figured it out that it would be cheaper for me to just come in and pay for the cleanings. And if I had a cavity, which was very rare, that I would still be saving money if I didn't have the insurance.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of times with dental, and I tell people that medical, you can't gamble without medical.
Right.
You know, tomorrow you can have a $300,000 procedure done, and that's what to pay out of pocket. Dental, tomorrow you get a root canal, your tooth's killing you. All right, so you have to pay out of your pocket. You're not going to lose everything. So it's not that critical dental. It's a nice, attractive employee package. Norm, to answer your question, a dental HMO, actually $25 to $30 per month for a single, will give you free cleanings, free x-rays, free fluoride treatments, discounts, significant discounts on the root canals and the crowns and the fillings and extractions and orthodontia. Fine, no limits. A more expensive product like a MetLife PPO, in and out of network, it could be about $50 a month or $60 for a single. And it's a much larger list of dentists to choose from. And you're going to get 80% coverage, 50% coverage, depending on the procedure that it is, typically with a maximum benefit per year, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 max per year. So what's better? I tell people, go with a dental HMO. Go for $300 a year in premium as a single. Get your free cleanings, free x-rays, free fluoride treatments. It pays for itself right there.
Right.
Then if you have dental issues during the year, you're going to pay maybe $300 or $400 for a root canal and not $800, $900 for
right. Exactly. And that's what happened. It was, I paid $800 and something for a root canal.
Yeah. So
like,
dental HMO is,
what's the point?
I steer people to dental HMO products like Solstice, like Guardian, like HealthPlex, in-network dentals.
Now with those plans, okay, with those plans, are they group also? Is that you have to be in a group to get them, or is that something that you can get? Because this dental plan I just went online, I found a dental plan and I signed up and they just took me.
Yeah, individual dental plans, non-groups, very limited. Everybody knows the Easton Dental product. Give a plug to EDP. You know, that's an individual dental product. Solstice has an individual dental and HealthPlex has an individual dental. Group, at least 2 employees. Once again, like the medical world, you have at least 2 employees, you get a group product, a little richer, a little less expensive, obviously better than individuals.
I follow my doctors around. Like I've had my
That's why they have restraining orders against you.
Exactly. And I agree with those, especially, yeah, okay. So I've had my internist now, I guess about 30, 35 years that we've been, and I've had change of policy, but I've always taken a policy and such that he was in it. It's the same thing with dentists and not eye doctors or anything like that. But these doctors take so many different insurances anyway.
Oh yeah, I just I just had a meeting yesterday with a Japanese steakhouse that I insure, and they're currently with an Oxford product, and I was showing them a less expensive carrier with Health First, much less expensive, richer benefits. The guy's like, "Hey, let's do this." I'm like, "Yes, but what about the doctors? If doctors are important to you and your family and your employees, you're not going to go with the less expensive, richer benefit.
Right.
You want to keep your doctor. What's important to you? Doctors, price, or benefits?" Yeah.
And that's a mixed bag for a lot of people. So if you're going in with a group type situation, you may leave the existing plan in place, but also offer the other one, right? As a supplement, because some people, it may be important to stay with their doctor or it may not be. I had that situation last year when I was back on the marketplace looking at plans, and I saw a plan and I thought I was going to sign up for, and my doctor wasn't in it. So I was like, forget it.
The other thing about the marketplace, you have to be careful. The Empire on the marketplace, the United on the marketplace, the Empire Blue Cross on the marketplace, those are not the full-blown doctor provider networks that are on the marketplace, and people don't realize that. Empire Blue Cross on the marketplace, Empire Blue Cross group side, very different list of doctors and hospitals.
Yeah.
Very
Why do
different.
they do that?
Lower cost, smaller networks. The reason the networks are smaller, reduced doctor networks, because the discounted fee schedules are less than what you would pay on the larger networks. So there's less doctors taking it, and that's the products they offer on the exchange.
Now, these group plans, and this is a question from John from Hazlitt. The group plans, if I'm an owner, right? And I'm going to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to pay we used that number before, $350 towards a single plan for all my employees. Can I pay for my whole policy myself out of the company?
As the owner,
Yeah.
yes, what most of my clients should do and do identify a class. So you can have management, non-management.
So I can change how much I pay towards each one based on the classes, as long as I
Yes.
put the classes. Okay.
Yes, don't discriminate, don't cross those lines. If
Right.
you say I pay 100% coverage for management, I pay 50% coverage for non-management or administrative or whatever. You can identify classes by job title, job description, salary, years of service.
So there is a way for me to do that. All
Yeah.
right. So that's
So
all.
do not break the rules. Don't do more for one because you like this guy versus the other guy. And they're in
Right.
the same class. No.
Now, years ago, before Obamacare, were you able to do that?
Yeah, as far back as I can remember. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it was pretty much right. Okay. Instead of giving you a raise, I'll pay your family plan, right?
Now, that's, listen, I have to inform people legally, but what happens in real life is a whole nother conversation. Obviously.
Yeah.
I sense a little synergy relationship growing over here with you too. Between him selling insurance and you having all these clients, you laid enough hints tonight that you would like to have some conversations.
Norm's playing matchmaker again.
Again,
I
do
did say
this
that
once
we're
a
gonna
week.
have a
and it
conversation
never
all the
fails.
time.
He never tells me how many people though he signs up though. He keeps me, just.
Well, you're always looking for a commission. That's why.
You never pay it anyway.
Oh gosh.
I'm teasing. You know that.
What do you got coming up, Matt? You have any seminars or anything that you're doing? You're waiting till next year? You're waiting till the insurance thing settles?
Yeah, right now it is my busy season. This is my tax season. If I was a CPA, many groups renew their policies December 1st or January 1st. I have 160 of my clients renew their plans December 1st. So needless to say, I'm swamped right now.
Yeah.
Every day of the week, multiple meetings. I don't have time for anything. Of course, I go to my LATIP meeting, which is on Wednesday mornings.
But you didn't tell you LATIP people you were going to be on the Business Power Hour.
I didn't tell them that.
You didn't tell them
do
that because Michelle didn't know you were going to be on tonight.
Oh my God.
Wow.
All right.
I did.
And if you
That's
would have
right.
said, I'm going to be on the Business Power Hour tonight, she would have jumped up and said,
You got
Yeah, that's
70
true.
people in that group,
You know, it's
don't
funny.
you?
And I had the meeting this morning too. I didn't even think.
yeah, it was this morning.
And how many people do you have in your group?
Well, we got to
25.
45?
25.
25.
I belong to another group that has 25, and I told them, believe it or not. I told
Is it that you don't like the people in your tip group? Is that why?
hate them all. No.
You know, it's almost that witching hour already.
Yeah.
I'm not a pushy salesperson. See what I
No,
mean?
not you.
Well, we got Norm's got to teach you because he's a pushy sales guy.
No, I just tell it like it is. That's all.
I'm not the kind of guy that wears orange paisley shirts or anything like that. It's not my style.
No, right? Yeah,
I
exactly.
can see that.
Matt, we really want to thank you for being on the show tonight.
Been a great guest.
My
Great.
pleasure. Thank you,
Absolutely
guys.
great
Thanks for
guest.
having me.
We got to have you on again, and I hope our audience got some good information out of this.
And give them your phone number again, Matt.
Yeah, one more time, Matt. How can
All
people
right.
get a hold of you?
My cell, 516-680-6013. My office is 631-385-4600. My extension is 120.
All right, Matt. Well, thanks again. We really appreciate you being on. That information is also posted in the chat, so check the chat out to get a hold of Matt. And Matt, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for being on, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Be
Matt.
well.
Nice to see you.
Stay healthy.
You too.
All right, my friend. That was a good
What
show.
a nice guest.
He was a good guest. He was
Yeah,
definitely.
it took me a while to finally get him, but he did. And then we
Yeah.
postponed. We had to change him. And I don't believe you didn't recognize the name.
Well, that, you know what? I know him. I know Matt. I don't know, I didn't
got it,
know his
got it,
last
got
name
it.
because, Michelle's always talking about him because she's in that group.
Right.
So,
All right.
you
So what
know,
do you got going this weekend? Anything?
this weekend, actually, we're having a yard sale. We
Yard
cleaned
sale?
out a yard sale. We're
Nice.
starting to clean out the house and getting rid of all the old stuff. And, I got to make
Hoping
more
for
room in
good
the
weather.
garage for my motorcycle.
You doing Saturday or Sunday? Or both?
Well, we'll see how Saturday goes.
Oh, so you're
may
gonna do it Saturday, right?
We're gonna do it Saturday. We may do it Saturday and Sunday. How about you? What do you got going on?
I'm taking a break for the next couple. We're good till November 7th. And
Okay,
then
a couple of weeks.
from November 7th, 14th, 21st, and then December. So I got a tough 2 months coming up, but it's all good. Not complaining. Not
And it
complaining.
looks like we'll be moving into our offices next weekend.
Nice.
Yeah,
Still waiting to see our new office.
yeah. We'll have a new new
We
studio.
should have a party. We should have some special guests come.
We will. Once we get set up, let's get set up and everything. One of the things you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to come down because we've got to figure out how we're gonna set it up.
I'm an event planner, so you call me. We'll plan it up. Well, you know who we'll do? We'll Delvino Wines. We'll call him up and tell him to bring a couple of bottles. Have him be a guest.
Why don't we bring on Sip and Say?
Why don't we? Why don't we
He's my
introduce
client.
the two of them to each other?
There you go. They're both sommelier. Well, my guy's a sommelier. I don't know if
Or he might not like Delfino's wines. He may critique
I
them
don't
too
think,
much.
I asked him about it once. I don't think he ever had it, but that's beside the point. We can talk about that.
We
later.
had it. So that's
We had
good.
it. We had it. It was very good. We got to have them on again. That was fantastic.
All good stuff.
All right. So everybody stay safe, wear your masks. Okay. Be careful. You're starting to get spikes in this stuff, this COVID stuff. So
It's done, and they're predicting that this particular go around, as compared to the first one, is a different strain, and people are dying more from this one, and they don't know how to. They've learned a little from the first one, and they're
Right.
using that information. But wear your mask. Let's not even discuss it. God bless. We'll see you
Be
all
safe.
next week. All
yep,
right.
be safe, everybody. Have a
nice
week.
week. Thank you.
Good night,
Thank you
everybody.
for watching.